Hello there, internet dwellers. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be finishing off the rest of the IT files. That includes Jared's special file and Ramona's story. I've actually pieced together Ramona's story, so it's actually in a chronological order, I believe. And we're just going to listen to that one first. There's also a couple of things that I missed before, because obviously when you're clicking through the links, you sometimes lose your place. And yeah, because of that, I missed a few things, but I'm going to cover it up with this. So basically what I did was I put all the things together, rendered them out, exported them, and we're just going to watch that video file basically. And then we're going to move on to Jared's file and who Jared was before he became this weird ass Hills Have Eyes creature with Sam Fisher goggles. But we're just going to play this. So this is including the story in the video of This Place Is Not Happy. And this is the entire story of Ramona, whatever her name was. So here we go. Let's just play this.
There was once a little girl who lived in a house on a farm with parents that loved her very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
The farm
Okay, that wasn't me pausing.
Animals, a cow, a chicken, and a pig. And the little girl loved the animals very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl said, "I love you" to the cow. "I love you" to the chicken. "I love you" to the pig. But
I'm just
one
trying to...
day, while she was outside with the animals, she smelled something funny and saw the sky turning black.
Oh dear.
She turned around and saw smoke coming from the house and fire dancing in the windows. She called to her parents, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy," but nobody responded. All the little girl could hear was screams coming from the house. The screams said, "Don't let us down." After the fire, the little
Okay, yeah,
girl
so
was
I paused it there, basically. I didn't include the whole, him screaming, "Don't let us down," which was very good, by the way. The voice acting was very good there, but I thought I just wouldn't include that, just to kind of, shorten the story length. What confuses me about this is Ramona was a little girl in this story, but she's fully grown when she owns Happy Meat Farms. But if you remember correctly, in the This Place Is Not Happy, in like one of the first videos, you hear someone saying, "That's not me." So maybe there was a clone of Ramona from the very beginning, and that's who kind of so basically a child, I guess, or a host. Ramona was a host to which she was cloned. The original version of her was cloned, but she was kind of tested on aside, I guess, maybe. I don't know. We'll see anyway. Let's just play the rest of this.
After the fire, the little girl was so lonely. Without her parents, it was hard to take care of the animals, and it was hard to take care of herself.
You'll see,
the
yeah,
next day, the little girl
the framing
felt
is
very
stupid.
hungry. She was so hungry that she ate an animal raw. She ate so much that she threw up a new friend.
Okay.
The new friend said, "If you feed me, I'll help you take care of the animals." So the little girl fed the new friend, and the animals were happy once again.
Here's the thing, though. So does that mean that this whole thing started with Ramona? Like, because she threw up, like, obviously we know that what happens with hosts thing is that spores are injected. So was she injected with spores to begin with, or was she just the first one just to throw up this thing randomly?
Oh, the little girl wasn't so lonely anymore, and soon she made friends with even more animals. She tried to tell all the animals that she loved them, but there were too many to tell. The little girl was beginning to get worried. Once again, the little girl tried to tell all the animals that she loved them. But then she discovered something strange. Some of the animals had turned into monsters. She tried to tell her new friend what she had discovered, but now the new friend looked different. Now the new friend looked familiar. She tried to ask her new friend to stop, but the little girl could still hear the screams, so she decided to continue.
What?
The little girl tried to run far away from the farm. But before she could, she too turned into a monster. Now the little girl was just like the animals. I wonder what her parents would think of her now.
Okay, so here we go. So the whole story there basically is that The house burnt down. Then she became hungry after the fire. She ate an animal raw. Ended up throwing up this thing. I'm guessing which is like things that go into like they're these muses, I guess. Maybe that's how they work. And the whole farm started turning into these monsters, these muses. Maybe this is where maybe all the muses were born. I'm not sure where the whole like testing thing comes in, because if she's a little girl at this point, what happened between her being a child and her being an adult? The next video that you're about to watch was an unlisted video apparently that I missed.
I stood there in front of my reflection and asked the question, what do you want? And my reflection responded with only one word.
Okay, and that was that video apparently. The reflection responded with one word. I'm not sure what that one word could be. But I'm not sure who is that meant to be. Is that meant to be Ramona? Is that meant to... It's getting confusing as it goes along. There's probably someone who can clear it up down the line. But obviously when you take breaks apart from this ARG, there's so many things that you maybe forget about. Little things that are quite significant and things that aren't quite significant. And you can get lost in like misinformation and stuff like that. But I'm not sure... what happened with Ramona. It's that bit confuses me, because if she was a little girl to begin with, what happened in the time between her being a kid and her being an adult and, you know, doing this Happy Meat Farm stuff? God knows. I don't know. Anyway, but this was a different video. This was a video actually on, I think it was the Conspiracy Carl. So this was one of the files that I missed. So this is male, 56 years old, Goose 7, status unassimilated. Born July 7th, 1965 in Orlando, Florida. Graduated from Valencia College of Political Science. Currently lives in Orlando, Florida. Current goal, become a well-respected and famous influencer in online political discourse. Useful skills. Let's go back. Useful skills. Lacking in many useful skills, however, he's entertaining when pushed. Assigned role, online conspiracy theorist. So his assigned role. Host has always wanted to be important and have his voice matter. Host has a strong sense of right and wrong, but his moral compass can become skewed with the right pressures. Was a government-funded cell phone tower repairman and died from falling off of a tower while Host was still young. Host was unable to accept that something so simple could take away his father and believed there was more to it than just an accident for several years. Developed a subconscious paranoia of the government and cell phone towers. I don't like how it skips over little things. Met his wife in high school and later had 2 kids with her. Every 3 years he takes his family on a cruise to Hawaii. Works as an assistant manager at a car wash. Originally intended on retiring and pursuing his dream of online fame in 2015, but his wife urged him...
anymore.
Host's wife contracted pancreatic cancer as a part of Project Vulnerability. Host discovery. Originally discovered by Host G0006, his wife's oncologist working at Healthy Community. Spore was planted during an in-home visit. Spore's delivery was successful with no damage to contents or risk of exposure. Growth speed was moderate and showed no signs of aberration. I recommended increased paranoia. Follow Host in a way that deliberately gets his attention. Increase cell phone towers around neighborhood. Occasionally disrupt Wi-Fi signals. Send emotional manipulation. Happy Father's Day. I love you. Okay, this is an exact recreation of a card the Host's youngest son gave to him for Father's Day. Host loves the original many years ago. Host lost the original many years ago. Card was sent to Host with additional content added to increase pressure. Communications from Muse G0007. Intercepted from frames and Conspiracy Carl video. Hidden text and reflection of glass given a Rot 23 cipher. Hidden text beneath statue picture given a... Wait, what? Key hidden in text. Phase 1 complete. Host shows no resistance, increases popularity. Damn. So if you go along with their kind of thing, I guess, but you don't know that that's happening maybe. Or does he know that that's happening? Has he got his own muse at this point? Who's feeding him this stuff? Phase 2 complete. Spore successfully planted. Host was successfully indoctrinated into becoming Conspiracy Carl. Increased paranoia led him to believe that there was a sinister outside force out to get him and his family, and only he, with the guidance of his muse, could stop them. Oh, so he does have a muse. Okay, the muse is kind of feeding him the information similar to Alex. Got it. Strain on the marriage and fear of putting his family in danger led Host to become completely isolated from his family. Host regularly checked up on his youngest son and was convinced that planting a spore in his son's home would help him with struggling YouTube channel. He's talking about cynical critic there. Host has proven useful in psychologically pressuring Host K0052. The conspiracy Carl persona has already garnered a larger following, and he has gained a reputation of an untrustworthy, crazy conspiracy theorist. This will prove useful. Progress successful. Begin assimilation soon. Oh, complete assimilation failure. Muse G0007 terminated. Instant report 11/12/21. Host was forced to read a sponsorship for Happy Meat Farms, knowing that their meat led to his wife's recent passing. This caused him to completely break. Host recorded a live stream where he attempted to escape. Muse G007 managed to subdue him and end the live stream, but Host was able to terminate Muse G0007. It is unclear how a termination of a fully grown, healthy Muse was achieved by a human. No termination was achieved before digestion was even attempted. Immediate action required. Send reinforcements. Oh my god. Reinforcements were sent to Host's home in the middle of the night. All of them were terminated by unclear means. It has become clear Host has discovered as an unknown weakness in us. Until we understand this weakness, do not engage with Host. Instant report. Okay. Host has posted a new video explaining the truth of his situation. Fortunately, his reputation makes his claims lack believability. Host is planning on dismantling our network and freeing other hosts. He cannot be allowed to share his knowledge with the others. Risk posed to Happy Meat Farms extreme. Recommendation ? Okay, so they don't know what to do about Conspiracy Carl. They underestimated him. The man was just like a conspiracy nut, and apparently the Happy Meat Farms was the cause of his wife's pancreatic cancer, and he decided he can't go through with, like, he could have just gone through with it and became extremely rich and extremely I guess successful online, but I guess the moral compass just wasn't there. And who would have thought that a conspiracy nut would turn against the very thing? I don't know, man. That feels like a stupid idea from Happy Meat Farms, you know what I mean? But that's all there was there. That's all we basically missed. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to check out Jared's secret file. Okay, so here is Jared's IT file that can be found at the bottom of the page. The way you access it is by clicking on the link and then putting in the password for Jared only, and it comes to this. And you think, oh, okay, well, this is pretty cool, you know? Got a little SpongeBob song on the go here. And, you know, I'm not sure this is how he looks. I don't know what this is. What, was he born with this on his head? I very much doubt it. I don't know what this thing is. As you can see here, little about, you know, everyone loves Jared. He's basically just, you know, blowing at smoke up his own ass, basically. So he wants a promotion. Then you come down here, click this link, and you're led to this page here. So we're going to read through this now, and that will be the end so far as I'm aware of what we have available to us for the Muse Arg. I think the next thing will probably be the last video from Alex Bale on Don't Feed the Muse. So here we go. So this is Jared Warrenheim. He's 27 years old, J0001. Status: assimilation failed, digestion complete. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it means they digested out a Muse, but they didn't quite take him over. Maybe that's what an assimilation is. It's literally taking over that person. Born November 18th, 1995, hired as a computer technician in the old Happy Meat Farms IT department in 2016. Very capable with computers and technology. Okay, notable background information. Host was an only child. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Control A. And as you can see from Control A, it highlights everything, including things that we can actually see here. So I'll do that for each one, and then we can read whatever the thing is at the end. So Host was an only child. He never knew his father, still lived with his mother. His mother was verbally abusive and manipulative, socially awkward, never had any friends in high school, severe inferiority complex, and issues with women. So basically like an incel, is that what they're saying? Hates his mother, but also desperately wants her approval. Obsessed with the animated kid show SpongeBob SquarePants. He's been morbidly curious since he was a child, dissected animals in his backyard. What a loser. Okay, here we go. Employee instant report. 5 different women working in the Happy Meat Farms office reported Host to the old HR department for inappropriate behavior and stalking. Although it was never proven, it was believed that the host accessed these women's personal emails and communications to learn more about them. The women who confronted the host about his behavior all later received some sort of psychological retribution from him in return. One woman's personal message were leaked to the office, and another woman with a fear of rats later found a dead one in her desk. Recommendation: positive reinforcement. That's sad, isn't it? When the thing that you recommend is just to be nice to someone. Like, just to be, encourage them. Like, people like this are... It's very hard with people like this because all they want is approval, all they want is validation. And sometimes when they can't get it because they come across as weird, they go down this skewered path of just being a complete incel. I don't know, I reckon it can be stopped with just a bit of words of encouragement, Host discovery process. As this was a first generation host, the spore was grown and planted by Mother herself inside of the IT office ventilation system. She chose me. First contact was made by speaking to the host through the air ducts. He initially believed the voice was from a female employee in the office one floor above, but he could never find the actual source. The voice sounded very similar to the host's biological mother, Margaret Warrenheim. Host's entire self-worth and identity is built around his biological mother, Margaret Warrenheim. Host bears a striking physical resemblance to his father, which is likely a large contributing factor to why she despises him so much. That's sad, that is, isn't it? Despite the constant torment, Host still believes that his mother cares for him deep down, and he would do anything for her approval. So is this like the Jason Voorhees kind of vibe? Because didn't he do stuff for his mum? I think I'm not sure. Recommendation: replace his mother. Right, there's a video here. Let's have a look at this video.
Hi.
Do you have any idea why you're here?
It's very awkward.
No.
It's a shame because, all attractiveness is, guys. I mean, my hair's fucked. All attractiveness is, guys, 90% of it, looks. Obviously, that's what initially attracts a person. But you could be very good looking and act like this, and all of a sudden you're just not attractive anymore. Literally, all attractiveness is just confidence. That's all it is. Just to be confident in yourself. You come across as something bigger than you are, almost. That's all that Jared needed to do.
You don't have any idea. Multiple women have come forward and said you've made them uncomfortable during work hours.
Who said that?
Did you put a dead rat in a coworker's desk?
Good lord.
Jared?
Am I fired?
He's got those Jeffrey Dahmer
No,
glasses.
Jared. We'd actually like to offer you a promotion.
What? Toxic behavior in the workplace gets a promotion. Interesting tactic right there. Behavior analysis. Host had a difficult childhood, and watching SpongeBob SquarePants was likely one of the few stable, positive things in his life. He has seen every episode multiple times and can quote the show verbatim. He was one of the main contributors to the SpongeBob fan Wikipedia and would write fan fiction and theories about the show in his free time. He applied multiple times to work for the show, but was rejected every time. Recommendation: useful for future host. Negative reinforcement. 2 weeks after first contact, Muse J0001 befriended and gained the trust of the host through the air ducts. Most of their conversation had turned into talks about his mother. 4 weeks after first contact, the voice in the air duct began a constant barrage of negative reinforcement about his mother.
She doesn't love you. She thinks you're pathetic. Your mother hates you. She wishes you were never born. You should stop her. You should punish her. You should kill her, Jared.
You know, it's crazy as well because this is how you create killers, guys. If you get an incel, well, I'm not saying he's necessarily an incel, but you just get a guy like Jared and show him some, validation from the opposite sex. You can pretty much get them to do anything. And it's sad because they've never had that in their life and they're willing to do anything to keep that in their life, which is super sad. Communication from Muse J001 intercepted from IT hidden text given a ROT13 cipher. Oh, okay. So these are what you see here are the ciphers, and then they're translated here. So here's the phase 1 complete, host compliant, provide psychological reinforcement. Phase 2 complete, spore planted, mother removed. After much discussion, host managed to convince his mother to come to his place of work for a tour. He brought her to mother's chamber in the new HR building, pushed her inside and shut the door behind her. Host has mentally replaced his mother with mother. Progress successful, begin assimilation and digest soon. So is this how he got his freaking thing? Update status: digestion failure, assimilation failure, Muse J0001 in critical condition. Several hours after digestion had begun, host suddenly managed to stop the process, causing severe damage to Muse J0001. It was unclear how or why host was able to do this. All previous signs indicated that he was more than ready for digestion. When questioned, all host said was, "She still loves me." Host successfully completed the second attempted digestion process. As Muse J0001 is now in a defective form, assimilation is not possible. Reconnection was completed. Muse J0001 could still prove to be useful inside of the IT department. Mechanized body modifications will be required to function effectively. Who would have thought he had it in him? How I obtained perfection. So hang on. Jared isn't Jared anymore, because there's a difference between the host and the Muse. See, the Muse is the actual thing, the thing that gives them whatever. So in this case, it was given negative reinforcement about his mum for some reason, and then he managed to feed his real mum to mother. But is this the Muse that is like this, just with Jared's personality? Reconnection was completed. So is this basically Jared still, or is it the Muse with some of Jared in there? Because it looks very unhuman right now, as you can see from this. I guess we've learned a lot about Jared here. I'm not sure what happens now in the story, but it seems like Mother's plan is kind of working, and the only problem they have currently is Ramona. Now, I think that maybe Ramona is kind of like the creator of everything, and the friend that she threw up on the farm that day is Mother. It's like another version of her almost, and she's the one that's making all of these muses and, getting them out there and getting children and stuff. I'm not sure what the end goal is still. To take over completely everything in the world? Maybe? I don't know. But it's very interesting for sure. But that's all we've got now, guys. I'm not sure if there's anything else. So I think I've pretty much covered everything here. What do you guys think is the end goal for this? And what is your thoughts on the whole Ramona thing? I'm still confused on that. I'm unsure whether or not... Hang on. The best way to do this is just to do this. Here we go. Happy Meat Farms was founded in 1998 when Ramona Bynes inherited a plot of land in Florida. Okay, if we look at that newspaper I think was in 1982. So there was a 12-year gap, I think. No, 16-year gap between when she was a kid and her now. So what happened in that 16 years? Was this thing creating, hang on, here we go. Let's have a look. It wasn't until Ramona found a new partner that things turned around. Happy Meat Farms expanded in a new, innovative direction, becoming the... Okay. There's nothing here. I wonder what happened in that 16 years. And obviously because something was going on at that farm beforehand, at her parents' farm, which was creating these kind of muses almost. Because we know that's how the muses were created. The spores is injected and then they throw up the muse, basically. And then these muses go off and then they basically get these people what they want. And then they feed them, I guess. They get fed. I guess that's the payoff, and then once they get fed enough, they basically can just take over the person, the host. But yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it all kind of... And if Ramona's going to be in the final episode, that would be very, very interesting. Although, I don't think that who we're seeing is the real Ramona. Maybe that's someone else. Oh, I don't know. But there we go, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rate, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.